Unmute myself. All right. Hello, everybody. I am Nicole Greco with McLean Mortgage, and we are going to talk about all the wonderful ways of the world of social media and how to include that into your business. So here's what we're going to cover today. We've got a simple system, staying in touch with past clients, which is really important. We're going to generate some new business by attracting the right clients through social media. So maybe you really enjoy working with first-time home buyers, but you don't enjoy working with renters. Got to make sure that that content you're putting out there is attractive to those people, right? We're going to talk about creating a social media content calendar. We're going to talk about some content ideas. What could you do to get out there? Sometimes it's hard to just think of content, but honestly, I think we just focus so much on what we should be doing when it's just as easy as giving a neighbor a shout out, right? A local business a shout out. The barista at Starbucks or wherever you get your coffee was phenomenal, and you give that local business a shout out. It's a lot easier than what you think. And I'm going to give you a list of plenty of ideas to go through. Evaluating your work. So how are your pages performing on social media? I know Instagram Reels is a real hot one that you guys wanted some information on. So I've put a lot of content in this presentation on that. We're going to talk about some recommended apps that I definitely suggest you guys use and embrace if you haven't just yet. And my last one here, which I can't even read, and I should know it by heart because I've done this presentation about 700 times just in the last year. And it's just our recap. It's as easy as a recap. So we're going to talk about all this. I'm going to talk a little fast. Slow me down if needed because I have a lot to get through. But if you guys have questions, let's just do them live and raise your hand and let's be engaging. Please do not be afraid to ask questions. I will say that I am not a social media guru at all. Everything I have learned has been by trial and error. Okay, so I don't want you to make the mistakes that I've made. I say that truly from the heart because I've made some real mistakes that I've gotten my hand slapped by our compliance department. So I'm keeping everybody out of jail and RESPA compliant. Okay, we're going to talk about some tips that you can implement immediately. How could we get, results like that? We live in that world that just everybody has to have instant gratification. So we're going to talk about that. Just like time blocking for lead generating, you guys need to time block for social media. It's important. My time blocking is Monday morning between 8:30 and 10. Every Monday, that is what I'm solely focused on. I handle social media for about 20 or so of our loan officers at McLean, and I have to map it all out. And I use that hour and a half. It used to actually take me a full day, but once you start doing it, you start narrowing that time window down. So make sure this is on your calendar, and maybe Monday is not the day for you. Maybe Sunday is, or maybe a Wednesday is, but make sure you're scheduling it for a full calendar week, 7 days. I like to talk about doing it daily and weekly. Daily is more of who am I touching? Who am I engaging with? So I like to call it the focus 5. Who am I liking? Who am I commenting on? Who am I engaging with on social media that is going to just see my name and remember somehow I'm in real estate, right? They're going to see your posts. The fact that you're commenting or liking, they're going to remember that you're somehow connected to real estate. So that's just a little subliminal message that you send to people, but you're doing it because you are commenting on posts that you actually want to comment on. I'm not just saying, just pick the first 5 that roll up and you start liking and commenting. Make sure that you're doing it with a passion and purpose. And make sure that you are replying to all comments that you get. That's really important. So engagement breeds engagement. So the more that you are actually engaging back in comments that folks are leaving on your post, it's creating this dialogue. It's helping with your SEO. It's helping with pushing you up in feeds and getting you in front of people more often. So weekly, and this is kind of what I just talked about, plan to sit down, whatever the time frame is for you, whatever works for your schedule, and plan out your social media for the week. And it doesn't have to be, guys, I don't want you to think you need to post 7 days a week on every social platform that there is. If you have that time, great, then do it. But most of us don't, right? So I would say if you can commit to posting at least 2 days a week, start there. and then add on. And as you start to do it, it just becomes more natural, just like anything else that we do. So I would say for your first time, maybe give yourself about an hour. And if you don't use the whole hour, that's fine. 3 to 5 pieces is what the experts say you should really be posting and preparing content for. But listen, if it feels forced, you're not going to do it. So start where you definitely feel comfortable. And if it's just 1 or 2 pieces a week, that's fine. And just start there and make that commitment to yourself. I am old school. I write everything down. I don't have my notebook with me, but I literally have a grid of a calendar each week. It's just 1 week. And I check off every day that I have committed to post for somebody that I've scheduled with the time. So I have a bonus tip here that you can certainly use a free printable calendar from calendarlabs.com. If you don't have, you may want to just track your posting electronically. I do everything by hand. So just a quick tip I like to share with everybody. We're all very familiar with this, that relationships are built with small interactions over the course of time. Would you guys think that that's a fairly true comment, statement, right? You don't meet your spouse and get married the next day, right? You're courted, you date, and then your relationship evolves and you kind of just go from there. So that's the same thing with social media. It's these small interactions that are going to lead folks to you. Has anybody ever heard of pillared content? Pillared content. Okay. So pillared content is something that may require time, resources, money. I always suggest the money piece last because we want to always lead with revenue. And if we don't have revenue, then we're kind of putting ourselves in the hole. We don't want to do that. So it's something, like I just said, that requires time, money, or resources. And it's something that is your true, authentic voice. Now, you may see somebody's post and agree what they say. However, the verbiage might not be, in the style in which you speak. If you just copy the link, copy the verbiage, and make it your own, I know if I read something that I didn't post that wasn't in my true, authentic voice, my friends would be like, did somebody hack you? Like, what is this? So making it the most authentic that you can in your voice, your opinion. You could certainly take somebody's content and disagree with it, and then you put your own point up there. But the point here is it's in your own voice, in your own opinion. And some examples of pillar content are basically anything that's video, quick related, a Facebook Live, an Instagram Live, a reel these days, podcasts, blogging. That's everything in your own voice, in your opinion. I'm going to share this presentation with you guys after class. I'll email it out to everybody along with the recording, but please feel free to take pictures of anything I have up here. It's all going to be shared with you later on. And with that pillar content, you need to decide a couple of things. You need to decide on what that content's going to be, right? So kind of if you've got an idea, especially from the list that I'm going to share with you on what you want to prepare, batch video, batch create. And what that means is, if you're having a really good hair day and you're in the car and you got great lighting, because listen, a lot of us take videos in the car because it's great natural lighting. Don't be afraid to hit that start button and start making some videos. And maybe you want to talk about first-time home buyers. Maybe you want to talk about a listing you have. Maybe you want to talk about that barista who gave you such phenomenal service and she remembered your name. Whatever it is, again, in your own voice. It's something that you are creating yourself, that you are putting your face out there in front of people. And what I suggest you do is that you do this a couple of times a month, because don't worry about the wardrobe change. Oh my gosh, I had a video and I wore the same shirt. Guys, it's not high school again where you can't wear like the same sweater the same week. I know we all felt that way, but this is legitimately, it's content and it's purposeful. So don't worry if you stumble on a word, or if there's some quiet time, or if you are just not able to get all your words correctly. The first take is usually the best. So keep that in mind. And you want to, like I said, you want to pick your day once or twice a month where you create and publish. So that's really important. And batch creating, like I said, if you've got good light, you feel good, you look good, it's a beautiful day, just snap a few videos and go ahead and get that all in your library. So you have an arsenal of content that you can then move forward with and post. So we're going to talk a little bit now about branding and what it feels like to work with you. That's really important because that also helps attract the folks that you want to work with. So what does it feel like to work with you? So I love to ask agents 3 questions. And I think it's important because we all get into this business for different reasons, right? Why do you do what you do? And do you love it? And if you don't love it, why? What changes do you need to make you fall in love again, right? And you have to think about that for clients. So what type of clients do you love to work with? What type of clients would you prefer not to work with? And that's what is called a referral, right? You refer that out to somebody else in the office. But understanding and identifying what those features about you are really helps you with your brand and creating your brand. Why do you love doing what you do? Well, some people love helping people get into homes because it makes them feel a certain way. And some people say, I love what I do because it's able to afford me a life that I never thought I would have. Everybody has a different reason why they do what they do. And what is most important to you professionally and personally, because that's going to help you, again, attract different people to do business with. So my bonus tip here is to brainstorm and write down questions that you're asked. That's really important because that also will help you develop a sense of who you want to work with, because questions that come in, you're like, well, that might be something that is not really my cup of tea, and I may not be so familiar with those answers or the results that those folks are looking for. So I'm going to write that down, and I'm just going to note that to myself. Maybe it's something I want to work on. Maybe it's a trajectory I eventually want to lead myself through and to. So keep that in mind. And every time that you're asked a question, make a note of it. And it's a great piece of content to use. So if somebody's asking you about maybe first-time home buyer programs that are out there, well, you may not know, but Caleb might know. And then maybe you and Caleb do a video. Caleb, you're going to be doing video, by the way, in case you didn't know. But it's just, these are great ways to help you grow as a person in this business and help you additionally with content, which I know a lot of us struggle on. I do I do social media so often that there's times where I just hit like a brick wall and I don't know what to post and I don't know what to share or where I should be looking for content. And then I go back to this. I'm going to show you guys a grid in a little bit. And it's just so incredibly helpful to just have a place to start, right? We don't have to be the 100% of an expert on it. We just kind of need to be as professional as we can and provide correct data. And then from there, always find a resource that's around you. Somebody's asking mortgage questions. You don't have to know everything about every loan program. That's why you've got Caleb in your office, right? So here's a sample of kind of populating pillared content into your schedule for social posting. So for these examples, I'm only using Facebook business page, Instagram, and YouTube. You can really recreate it and use it however you like for social purposes for yourself. But Tuesdays, as we know in the real estate market, are hot days. We've got team meetings, we've got brokers opens, if those are even happening, right? But we're busy. There's hustle and bustle. Tuesdays are a hot day, and if somebody's sitting in a training room waiting for a team meeting to start, they may scroll through social media. So that pillared content that you created a couple weeks ago, you're going to post that on a Tuesday. And you're going to take that and then you're going to reshare it on Friday. And why? Because not all of your followers, not all of your people are on social media when you likely posted that on Tuesday. So there's no shame in the game. It's called repurposing. Why have to reinvent the wheel if you don't have to? So you're going to take that video from Tuesday, you're going to go ahead and reshare it or just post it as a brand new post and create now a new dialogue. There's going to be people who have not seen the Tuesday post. So you're going to go ahead and post it on Friday. I've got some other suggestions what to do for Instagram and for YouTube. Anybody using YouTube? Okay. Kind of. Okay. And then Instagram is great. Instagram has so grown with their features that they have. They've got IGTV and they've got the reels. I mean, stories are now popping up everywhere. You could even do a story on YouTube. So just, I've got some creative ways on how you can share that pillared content, because again, that's what you're putting out there in your own voice, right? That's your most authentic, true self. So now this is your pillared content. Remember, we've got Tuesday and Friday where we're sharing our pillared content, and we've basically filled in the week. So every Monday, you're going to see on Caleb's page, we use the hashtag Mortgage Monday. Every Monday, unless it's a holiday, it's Mortgage Monday. And we give a market update, or we do a funny meme. We do something industry related. And that's just what we've committed to. Tuesday, I suggest that's where you go ahead and upload your pillar content. So you may see some video coming from Caleb on Tuesdays. Now, for just sake of filling in the calendar here, I just use the traditional Wisdom Wednesday for Wednesday, the Throwback Thursday for Friday, and consider Throwback Thursday when certain holidays or certain events are happening. I love to see when folks graduated, from back in the day, and then their kids are graduating. So they may put up a picture of their child graduating, and then a picture of them, kindergarten or a senior in high school. That's always fun to see. Prom pictures, then and now, just have fun with it. That's the whole purpose. If you're not having fun, you're not going to do it. And if you can't get into that routine, you're not going to do it. So just be as open as you can with the content that you prepare. And the more that you get into it, the more it becomes a routine, the more that you just get comfortable with it. None of us are movie stars, right? None of us are, I mean, I know I'm not, I shouldn't speak for you guys, but I'm not always comfortable on camera. And I preach one take and done, because your first take is always going to be the best. And then I see myself reaching to hit that button again. And I'm like, no, you tell everybody the first take is the best. So don't you dare hit that button. Do not delete it. So keep that in mind. Okay, we're going to go and reshare our video on Friday that we posted on Tuesday. And since we're in the industry of selling houses, you're going to talk about your business on Saturday. So a list of any open houses that you may be hosting, that the office is hosting. And then on Sunday, you could do a fun community post, or if you know that you're hosting another open house, or if your open house is strictly on Sunday, feel free to put that information up there. Again, loose calendar, guys. I'm not telling you that you should follow this 100%. Work into your schedule what feels right and what you can really prepare and make content that's going to speak to what you're comfortable with. Listen, we do have to get out of our comfort zones from time to time. I mean, that's 100% important to keep in mind, but use this until you can get the little kick in your tushy to move on. So repurposing your content, repurpose it onto stories, repurpose it onto reels, repurpose it as often as you can, so you're not feeling like you need to reinvent the wheel. That goes back to I'm in 9th grade and I can't wear the sweater on Friday because I wore it on Tuesday. And oh my gosh, everybody's going to know. Different world when it comes to content. Again, you don't know how many followers you're always getting in front of on that initial post. So go ahead and repurpose it, and repurpose it to different tools on social media, stories, reels, all that fun stuff. Okay, here's the grid I talked about. I'm going to give you all a copy of this. It's fantastic. So I follow a social media. She is a guru, and she strictly hones in on the real estate market. That is exactly what her business is all about. It's social media for real estate agents. Her name is Katie Lance. Follow her, like her, find her on all the platforms. She does free webinars, podcasts. I actually was listening to her podcast on my drive down here, and she just has these ideas that are phenomenal. And if you can't get on her page because she's got too many followers, find her on the other socials, but she's fantastic. And
K-A-T-I-E?
K-A-T-I-E, Lance. Mhm.
L-A-N-C-E.
That's it. Exactly. So this is 30 different ideas. And now these are strictly industry related, if you will. So we've got local real estate, national, local and community, personal interest, and home and design. So what you can do is you can take these and just spark some ideas. Some of my favorite ones are the Monday market update. I love that because, we do mortgages, and although I'm not a numbers person, I do like to know what's happening in the market. I mean, anybody can log into their 401k in the last couple of weeks, see what has happened. And then you can follow it and you'll see the ebbs and flows of things like that. Under the national real estate, there's that Throwback Thursday again. I don't know if you guys follow or subscribe to housingwire.com. They are great. They've got a lot of wonderful articles, industry related. You can always go there and grab their URL and post it onto social. Local and community. This is where you can, if you've got a favorite blogger that you follow, you can certainly, give them a shout out in your blog and go from there. Best places to get a cup of coffee or a glass of wine. That's like giving a neighborhood shout out, right? We want to remain local, right? And we always want to be forefront with that. So giving again, that local barista, I use her as an example all the time, but I'm telling you, I have a local coffee shop that I go to, not often, and the girl remembers me all the time. And I'm blown away because she must see hundreds, if not thousands of customers in between my trips there. So you guys will get a copy of this, just something else to spark some creativity. And I also have this. This is a fun one. This one I just added to this presentation. So to me, it's a little bit more update than what we've got from Katie. But it's also great. So this is a list to use for inspiration for post stories, lives, and reels to really help you build your brand and get noticed on social media. So we've got 30 here. If you use this and committed to doing a couple of posts a week, this will get you through a very long amount of time with having to not come up with anything social related, any content. But check this out. This will also be in the presentation when we send it out. This again is very industry related. So I know I've spoken a lot about everything that you're posting right here. What we've just discussed is very industry oriented and centric, but your pages shouldn't be that way. Let people know who you are. If you're comfortable sharing your family, if you're comfortable sharing, and it doesn't even have to be just family photos, but again, it all links back to who you know, like, and trust, right? Who you're going to do business with. Maybe you have a garden that's blooming, or maybe you got a new puppy. Like things like that. People like internet cats, right? Everybody loves internet cats, and puppies and babies, things like that. People will stop the scroll and see and engage. So it doesn't always have to be, hey, I'm doing open house, or, hey, I just, it's great to have the picture of your clients and they're holding the big key or they're dangling the key. Those are very important, but don't flood your page with just those. Diversify. If maybe the county fair is coming, or there's something that's a blood drive, or something that maybe you're going to a ball game or a football game, or, Virginia Tech just beat Duke, which my husband and I were watching a game, and I'm like, is this happening in real life? This is fantastic. But it's things like that you want to celebrate, and they should certainly be a part of what you're doing on social media. And it also helps you just kind of a creativity content piece that you can just kind of jot down and add to your repertoire. Okay. So with all the posting that you're going to be doing, it's really important to make sure that you are evaluating what you're doing. Is what you're doing working, right? You got to make sure that it certainly is. So if you're using business pages on Instagram, on Google, on Facebook, the Insights tab on your business pages is basically your report card on how well your page is performing. Take a look at that, review those numbers. It's going to help you understand how well your posts are working, who are they reaching, how many people are they reaching, and maybe what you have to do is not post on the same time every day. You got to shake things up a little bit, because eventually the system will figure out the algorithm and then say, hey, you know what, you should be posting 2:00 today. So if you actually use the Facebook business page, there's on the bottom right-hand side, it tells you the optimal time that you should be posting. use it. They've done the hard work for you. They've done the homework. And I use that very, very often. Just because I don't want to just post and hope I get in front of people. I want to know that I'm getting in front of people. So that insight tab is really important. There's insights, Google, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. They're all there. So make sure that you're checking those out. Patterns.
I didn't know there was a business Instagram.
Yep.
So it's not automatic.
You have to create a professional account.
Okay.
And then you get to see all that fun data. And when you're looking through your insights, look for patterns. What titles were most effective? What images were most effective? Things like that are really important. Verbiage is important, but honestly, an image is way more important than verbiage. People would rather see or watch a video than read. We all know that. It's just, we've gotten complacent and we want things that are going to tell us the data quickly instead of having to skim through an article, right? So always keep that in mind. If you can do a video is better than a photo, and a photo is better than just a link where people have to go through and read. And if you're kind of like cross-pollinating your post, there's going to be certain pieces that work better on Instagram or Google that work better on YouTube or Facebook. So kind of review what those patterns are too and what's performing better. So there's a lot to it. I don't expect you guys to like absorb it and think that tomorrow you're going to be analyzing your analytics and all that. It definitely takes time. And quite honestly, if this is something you are going to push forward with, give yourself a 60-day window. Okay, so I've got the next 60 days. I'm going to go ahead and see how my posts have performed and then make adjustments from there. Okay. All right, I'm going to talk about Instagram Reels. Is anybody using Instagram Reels? Yes, I love you. Do you guys know what they are? Okay, cool. So quick little videos, 60 seconds long. You can quickly take a shot of yourself. You talk for about 10 seconds. You hit that button and you maybe get your wording right, or you're transitioning. I know a lot of us see, if you're on TikTok, you see some people who are using the transitions piece where they maybe are showing like that they're in their pajamas, and then the next thing they jump and they're all dressed and ready for work. And there's an alignment piece that's a part of that, and marrying the videos together. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of editorial work that goes in behind. I'm not trying to scare you. So if you just continue through your video and you just keep talking, and if you flub a couple of words, that's okay, because you're human, right? But as you start to become more familiar with using Reels and get more comfortable, you'll be able to have those transition pieces. And a lot of people that I see that try to use the transition pieces at first get real frustrated and then they just give up. So let me give you the skinny on what these Reels are, because they're a lot of fun. So your Reels, if you guys want to take out your phones, does everybody have Instagram on their phone? Okay. So, oh, that's funny. The first thing that comes up on mine is Tom Brady,
Yes.
who is back, which
Yes.
I'm not
It's a
so happy
great
with.
year in our house.
So that little button right in the middle that looks like, action.
Yeah.
That is your Reels button, and that is going to pull up different. We're all going to have different videos that pop up there, because that has to do with like the algorithm that Instagram. Oh, now we're having fun. Okay, I thought you guys were hating me for a little bit, but everybody got a little kick out of that. I have English bulldogs, and I get nothing but bulldog videos all the time.
I had a dog.
Yeah, there you go. So that is basically your explore button. So Instagram is taking note of like things that you search and things like that. So there's a little Frenchie on mine. He's so cute. It looks like he's like in between like the car seat in the front. Hit the home button. Everybody hit the home button. I want you to swipe from left to right. if I can.
Swipe left.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you're gonna get your Reels screen. So if your camera is flipped around, you should be seeing yourself. And if it's not, then you're seeing the rest of the classroom. So were you able to do that? Share on Instagram. I'm sorry, you have to go down here. Oh, you gotta give your enable your microphone. So it's wants you to go and
Microphone.
yeah, turn that baby on. You go back to Instagram and there you are.
Oh, God.
Is everybody
I don't want to look at me.
on the
You
screen?
could have got me in the back.
You good?
Yeah, do
No
it.
hair, make sure it's
Oh, she gives me permission.
So what you're gonna do is what you'll see at the bottom, there's post, there's story, there's reel, and there's live. So those are like the 4 tools that you can use
I realize.
on your on social media, on Instagram. So we're gonna go to reels because that's what we're gonna talk about. So you can do a lot of editing. There's filters that you can use. It's fantastic. But that little feature right here, when you popped on, when you opened up your Instagram app, that's your explore, and that again, that's gonna be what the algorithm that is picked up. Okay, this is a lot of wording. We're not gonna read through it. We're gonna do a real life experience.
Playing around with the reels button,
Mhm.
staring at myself and want to play with the button is, now if I play with something and make it a video, it's not going live.
You
Like,
need
that's
to
like
give it
it's going
permission.
live.
No, you need to give it, yes. No. You need to give it, yeah, you need to share. No, you're good. You're good, I promise you.
Okay, so I can play, but then I have to do something.
Yeah,
part of it
there's
to
more
get it to
steps.
upload.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
So this
Just
is,
making sure, 'cause I'm afraid to play with it.
no, I know,
It's
you believe me. And it's always like when I'm playing with the reels, it's always like I'm like wet hair, no makeup on, and I look like a wet dog. So the first step is what we just did, is we opened up Instagram and we swiped from left to right. Everybody's good with that? Okay. So now we're gonna go through what our actual screen looks like. So everybody sees the music note. Okay, that allows you to add music. You could actually, you could record your own content, save it, and then it allows the Instagram world to use it. And you don't get royalties, you don't get rights, you don't get anything. You're just being a kind citizen that you're allowing folks to use it.
Where was the music button again?
It's that music note.
Oh, I see it, yes.
Okay. Your reel length, so you can create a reel that is 15, 30, and 60 seconds long. Here's what I recommend you do. Always do it for 60 seconds. You don't have to, no, but here's what it is. You control the record button. So say you set it for 30 seconds and you're going on, you realize now you're at 27, 28, 29 seconds, and you still have maybe another 10 seconds worth. Just set it for the longest amount of time, and you control that record button. That's the record button right there. Hit it once, you start recording, hit it another time, and you stop recording. So always go for the gusto. You're not doing a 60-second long video, and even if you are, you've set it for yourself. Your reel speed, which is that one time that you're probably seeing, that is how quickly you will sound or how slowly you will sound. Okay, the layout is exactly what it is, how you're going to be laying out your reel, and you can set a timer, which is pretty cool. I usually always set a timer because I might not be in the right position, or I might not have the right background, or I just maybe need a couple of seconds. So that's right there for you. On the very top middle, that's your flash. The little circle button that looks like a nut, a gear, that's your camera settings.
I have a moon up there too. What's that?
That has to do with, I think, the setting of the lighting in your room, in the room. I have it also.
Okay.
And that, I think, just has to do with lighting.
Okay.
Down here in the bottom left corner, those are your photos, so that you can pull up your photo reel. So you may have recorded a 10-second long video, and that's step 1 that you're creating. Step 2, maybe you want to pull up a still image or a meme or something like that to make that the second screen. Not screen, the second. What's the word I'm looking for? Clip. Thank you. Second clip. Okay, that's your record button right here. Okay, this will help you flip your camera around. So most of the times we're always like this, but in the sense where you're maybe using a tripod or you don't want to look at yourself, you just flip your camera. And right over here, this little feature right next to the record button, that's where you pick your filters. So if you've got a pimple or you want fire coming out of your
I
eyeballs.
accidentally posted.
Oh, it sure looks like you did.
Oh my I went to hit preview and I posted it. So Cody, y'all on.
So don't tell me. You can delete it if you want. You could always take it down. But this is a filter feature, which what you do is if you hit it, you can scroll through and select all these different filters that Instagram offers.
Which ones are the most popular of the filters? Which
Anything
ones do
that's
you
going
use?
to like blur your skin out and give you like a good complexion, maybe make you look a little tan. Those are like the ones that I see a lot of people using. Everybody wants to look flawless and, 10 pounds thinner. Some of these filters will do that for you. So that's just basically the skinny of the layout of your screen. So let's talk about creating a reel. Okay.
So you don't have to do stuff live, right? So if you've recorded a video, like I did one this morning, and you can upload it there and go through all
Yeah.
of these steps from there.
So the only thing is with that though, is you won't be able to add a filter.
Good to know, okay.
You won't be able to add a filter, and there's another feature that you won't be able to add if it's a pre-recorded, and it's not coming to me at the moment, but I'll remember it by the end. You could do the text over, you can add music to it, you can do all of that great stuff. Okay, so when you're ready to go ahead and record, and you got the right filter, everything's jazzy and ready, you're gonna go ahead and hit that middle button, that's record. And if you've set a timer, the timer will count you. It'll give you 3, 2, 1, and that'll actually be on your screen. That's gonna show you 3, 2, 1, and then you're live. Now you better talk. You better say something. Do a dance. Tell a joke. You're live. It's not live in the sense that it's like a Facebook Live, but you are recording at that point. Okay, so keep that in mind. So during the record, you can tap the record button, like I mentioned earlier, to end the clip. And then you can tap it again to restart a new one. And then you can marry them together. Okay, which is really cool. If you're doing something where there might be, you're recording and then maybe you got up for a second, there's an align button, which is right here. So it looks like 2 little squares, one on top of another. And when you hit that align button, it will kind of give you a shadowy figure over your last clip. So you kind of can align your face up, align whatever, whatever you're filming up with. So it doesn't look like it's a shifty transition. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's right there. That's that double square. Again, the align is used to create seamless transitions. We don't want to get anybody, feel like they're on a roller coaster. And then the button right here will allow you access to your previous clips. So it's just that back button. And that you can go ahead and you can edit those. You can narrow them, anything you need to do to them. That's how you would access them. Okay. So once you've created your content, you can certainly add accessories is what I like to call it. You can add stickers, you can add GIFs, these fun little images. So just say this was our post and I wrote great across it. And then I went to my GIF screen and selected Monday. So it's a great Monday. And I'm kind of digging how that looks. Okay, so what are my next steps? How do I move on from there? So after you've accessorized, right? You've filmed yourself, you're good, you've accessorized. Now you don't always have to accessorize, but that helps catch people's eyes. So if you do add a little, somebody in the corner dancing, something like that, or, just the great Monday that I threw up across the screen, it just gets more viewership because it's attractive to the eye and you're going to get more people to likely click and like and all that fun stuff. So now that we've accessorized, what do we have to do next? We need to share. So a lot of you people get some heart palpitations because they're nervous, like, oh my gosh, I'm sharing. I promise you, do not. You're going to be fabulous. So what you're going to do is, once you're satisfied with your clip, you can hit the next button, which is that on the first image on the bottom right. And that's your next button. And it's going to access your share page. So this is your share page. And this looks like just as if you would be getting ready to post on Instagram, just traditionally, right? Up here is fun because it gives you the option if you want to post it as a reel or to your stories. It allows you to add some verbiage to your post. But what's really neat about reels is that if you were, the first clip you were showing was a video of you, and you may look like a little like you weren't 100% ready, but you just hit the button and you recorded, you can select a cover photo. So it could be maybe an image you made in Canva, or it could be, what it will allow you to do is kind of toggle between the video, your video thumbnail. And that's what this section is right here. So if there's a better clip or a better image of you, you can select that and that'll be your cover photo, which is really neat. From there, if you're not quite ready, don't have the guts to post it just yet. Down here is a save as draft.
Yeah, that needs to be bigger.
That is there, and I promise you it does exist. But if you are ready to roll, I would say make sure you are selecting also share to feed, because you want to share it to your feed, but you want your reel to live in the reel folder, let's just call it, on Instagram. Okay, you're gonna hit share, and then it's out there, and you did it. And you don't have to be scared, I promise. It's a lot of fun.
And no captions with reels, so that's all you get. So no hashtags, no captions.
No, you
below.
certainly can use, yes, just for this example, I didn't have any put in, but you can certainly use, yeah. So what it's posting this, you're gonna also share it to your feed, but you're sharing it, it gets saved in your reels on your profile page also.
Okay, I got a note from Instagram to delete this because it looked like branded content. So I just deleted it.
Okay. That's
So
fine.
how did they know
You're
that?
that good.
Because they're,
How did they know that fast? That it was branded? Because when I did it, it picked up some KW.
oh, maybe, that could be it.
Interesting.
That could be it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it said unless I wanted to pay for the partnership to delete now, I just
Oh.
started warning them.
So there is a feature under the settings for Reels that allows you to say that this is a paid partnership, but you don't have a paid partnership with Keller Williams. You
But
Right.
she's that
Work
she's on
here.
his personal, she's active.
It's my personal, it was my personal Instagram. I don't have a business.
Wonder if
Instagram.
there's
You can
different-
also dispute it. And they would
Yeah.
probably review it and be like, okay, because they do that a lot.
yeah.
I got scared to delete it.
That's fine. I mean, I think that they're overly cautious ever since they had to pay like HUD
Yeah. but that
millions
was
of
really
dollars.
fast. I'm
Well,
impressed.
I'm impressed too, considering Google is working with such a skeleton staff these days, where if you're trying to put your Google business page together, their verification process, which used to be instant, is now we need to send you snail mail, a postcard to make sure you are who you are at an address that you claim to be your business. So yeah, they've gotten their hands slapped quite a few times with lots of legal fees and stuff like that. So they probably are probably really closely watching. But you guys are going to be doing reels, and like you'll probably be at home or in your office, or
Yeah, I
you
really
know,
think it's because
of
when
the
I
KW.
scrolled, it grabbed
could be,
our branding.
could certainly be. I'm sorry, you had a question.
Yes, does the Instagram Reels offer like a closed caption for hearing impaired?
You can. So there is under the settings, there is
Okay.
where, or you can actually go ahead and type in the verbiage. Yep. Yes.
Might be a question for the brokers. So doing this is, what do we have to do in terms of identifying ourselves for compliance with RESPA and and all of that.
It's a question for your
Tracy
broker.
Walter,
Mhm.
Keller Williams. Because I've seen some of these videos where they tell you in the beginning, don't introduce yourself. Nobody wants to hear who you are. Just talk about whatever you're talking about.
Mm.
So where do you put your stuff? Does it have to be on the video or does it have to be in the caption?
So I would say to make sure that you have your about section, like your bio section, whatever disclosures you need to have to be RESPA compliant, and have that conversation with your broker. I never want to answer for realtors, because that's what we have in the mortgage world is completely different than what you guys have to show. Do you know anything about that? What needs to be disclosed?
Me? I'm not sure.
Oh, you sounded like you did, so
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just like, oh, let me ask you.
Yeah, I did marketing social for.
Where's Alicia? We'll get her on.
Gotcha.
Where's Alicia? We'll
I
get her on.
Completely different, yeah, and
Again, I'm
I know with
saying-
everything else internet, it has to be one click away, so,
Kelly was in.
yeah.
Gotcha.
She had to go to meetings.
gotcha, that's okay.
Yeah.
So definitely, I always, you kind of beat me to the punch, but for sure, get with your broker. I know using the word realtor, there's lots of I have been told two different rules of thumb, that it can be used and it can't be used. And I'm always going to err on the side of caution, even if you're using the registered trademark R with the word realtor. Run it by your broker and see what they suggest you do. Real estate agent is just an easy way to share what you do. I would suggest perhaps including your Virginia license number or wherever, or listing the jurisdictions in which you are licensed. I know, I didn't bring it with me today, but I sat in a KW meeting up in Northern Virginia where the broker gave out what is absolutely required for digital marketing, print marketing, and for signs. So like our open house signs and things like that. And I can share that with you, Alice, if you wanted to share that with everybody, because it's just a great rule of thumb. And this was the absolute, like, this is, you will pass RESPA. Nobody will come at you for anything, but this is the least amount of information you need to disclose that says who you are, what your profession is, and so forth. I know
We
on.
have that for print marketing, but I'm not sure.
Right, this is
Yeah,
such a
this is
different
little
thing
different than
that-
Video, and we all say internet marketing, it has to be one
Right.
click away, but what does that mean on the
The,
video?
So if
Right.
it's internet marketing
Or
under
YouTube.
bio, as long as I would think you could get away with having your website, because that's one click away, right? But yeah, definitely talk with your broker about it. I don't want to advise incorrectly.
It's one click away.
Right.
So if you have your reels and you have a contact and you click on that, it shows who you are.
Yeah. So these are some tools that I recommend you guys consider using. Is anybody using Canva? It's phenomenal. It is
It is.
phenomenal. Even the free version is phenomenal. You could pay for, I think the next level up is $12.99 a month. We have a pro account at McLean, so it's great. I actually don't have to pay for it. The company pays for it, and I get every template necessary, and it's great. I think it's like $120 for the whole year if you're using the pro, and you have access to thousands and thousands of templates and fonts and all these great pieces that, believe it or not, they've got real estate brochures in there and open house flyers, and you look like a graphic designer, which is what I love. Word Swag is a place where you can go and make some of the images that I have used in here. Let me see, like something like this, you could create in Word Swag. It's a pretty neat software.
Or is it
They have I think it's a subscription for $2.99. I think you get a 30-day free subscription, and then they start charging you. I think that's it. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while since I've used it. Video Shop, Videorama, and InShot are all video editing apps that are great. But I will tell you, if you have an iPhone or if you have the latest Android, these cameras are phenomenal. And InMotion, iMovie on the iPhone has great editorial features as well. If you're using Canva, you could always take your video and upload it to Canva and do some editing that way too. So just if you're looking maybe for an advanced app instead of just using your camera phone. Later.com and Hootsuite are two social media. They're softwares that you can use that will help you with your scheduling of your content. So I use Hootsuite. It's phenomenal. They do have a free version that will allow you to upload 3 profiles. So if you wanted to upload Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and you can do all of that there. And it's literally, you create the post, you tell Hootsuite where you want it, and later.com is structured the same way. You tell them where you want the material to go. They'll also tell you optimal times when you should be posting. As you start to use the software, they're able to kind of link into those analytics and let you know. So they're 2 great features, 2 great pieces of software with awesome features that we love at McLean. So
I have a question. Do they like allow you to like monitor them each, like, I don't know if you've heard of Sprout Social.
I used to use them.
Is it similar to that?
Similar. You get a score on how performance is.
And you can interact.
Yep. It's great. Yep. So just a little recap, because I know we've really talked a lot about a bunch of different things. Time blocking. You guys are doing it for lead gen. You need to do it for social media. Creating your pillared content, and that is content in your own voice. It may require time, resources, money. Remember, you use the money piece last, but it's you in your own voice, in your own opinion, and don't be vanilla with it, is what I have about brainstorming. But I always think, be who you are, and if you are vanilla, that's fine, but put some sprinkles on top, have a little fun with it. Brainstorm what your brand is all about and find your voice in your content. That's really important. You can totally share somebody else's post, but make that verbiage that you're sharing your own. It's really important. It's going to help the right people find you, and they're going to want to work with you. Deciding your distribution plan for your pillared content and the rest of the social media posts that you want to create. Remember, use those lists that I'm gonna share with you guys. And again, that's only industry related. It's not, just real world. So throw in some pictures of, you with your kids, you with your spouse, you with, your dog, you at the park, you doing a hobby. That's really important. And really evaluate what has worked in the past and what hasn't. So if something's not working some way, or you're not seeing the results on Instagram that you're seeing results on Facebook or on Google, switch things up. All right. That's really important. And social media is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So one day at a time. Remember, those small interactions are really, 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 really important. And that's what I have for you guys today. What I love to share with you all is that I'm not a genius with this. I'm not a guru. I've learned from a lot of trial and error, and I remembered what it was like starting and helping my folks grow their social media. So if you want to do a one-on-one, we can connect through Zoom. Everybody's going to get a copy of this, and you'll have my email. Let's set up a time that works for you all. We'll have to do it in Zoom because I live in Leesburg. Sorry. But let's see what you're currently doing. Let's review what you're doing. Let's review what you can be doing. Let's change it up a little bit, because you'd be surprised what you think you're doing might be working now, but if you need to get to the next levels, and there's other, the other bridges that we have to cross, and brainstorming, or even if you're thinking about maybe a logo, or we don't have to talk social media. What I do is really just help you guys grow your businesses, and everybody's business is different. So what's important to you might not be important to you. So let's just set some time up and chat and figure out how we can get you more business. Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
I do.
You're welcome. Yes.
Do you need to do the business Instagram account? Do you have to do your business page first in Facebook, or can you do the Instagram, then the?
So you always need a personal page, then that leads to a business page. So you have to create.
I've been doing
personal.
a lot of stuff through personal because I didn't have enough followers on my
Well,
business.
that's what I tell people to do. I say, start where you've got the most reach. So if you've got more people on your personal pages, start there and start promoting a little bit of business, and then segue to the business page and invite everybody and make announcements on those personal pages. Guys, if you really like this material that I'm posting here, I've created, because I've created another page where it's just gonna be nothing but great industry, real estate, market stuff.
So as the team leader here, we have a Keller Williams Market Center business page.
Mhm.
Can we open up an Instagram business page that's linked to that?
Yeah.
And I'm just the admin of,
So,
so it's always rolling for our market center?
so what you can do is you can cross pollinate, you can post on both, but you need to have personal pages. So whoever's the owner of your KW.
Shall I?
Okay, so I would maybe ask Shalila to create a KW Lynchburg Instagram personal page, then have that segue to the business page. Because then you can post on both on the businesses.
Okay,
Yeah, but I will say you've got some of the stuff that you're posting on Facebook, well, you can't segue to Instagram because it may be a link or something that doesn't
Okay.
really translate over. So keep that in mind.
I mean, some things that
Mhm.
you do. and
Right.
others you just won't.
And they're all owned by the same people. I know.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. It's the same way with Google. So Google will only allow you to upload a 30-second video, but they own YouTube. So what you can do is put in your verbiage the link. So kind of make your teaser video on Google and then the link to the video on YouTube in your verbiage. They're all one family. So they have set rules for each platform, which I think is so strange.
okay,
It's
thank
crazy.
you for that.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So we appreciate you.
Well, I
for
appreciate
coming
you guys.
down.
This is like one of the biggest classes I've had in person. So thank you guys for being here. We've done a lot on Zoom, which is great, but being belly to belly with you guys means a lot more than just seeing
And
your
before y'all
little
leave,
face
can I
on a
get
square.
couple Pictures for our Facebook page.
Yeah, let's do
Because
it.
I have a
So
boss
we can
that's,
social media this.
I'm supposed to be doing this one again.
Yeah, I want to get in.
Stand over here. Can you, okay. I'm just kind of doing pictures, not real. And then thanks for joining.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys are welcome. Thank you, thank you.
So Nicole has a big project she's been working on helping me with my social, which as of 2 months ago was none. And it's funny, 'cause when I interviewed McLean, I think Nicole and Paula tried to stop
We did.
me. And like after I interviewed, we couldn't even find you. That's
True
the problem.
story.
We gotta fix that.
True story. That's what we do.
Hopefully within the next year or so, they'll get together.
Well, and he's trending in the right direction. He's definitely